What could be the next global pandemic with deadly new viruses on the rise and happening more frequently? Hey, what are we going to do? COVID-19 is a wake up call. Here to talk about the National Geographic docu-special Virus Hunters is epidemiologist Dr. Christopher Gordon. Good morning, Dr. Gordon.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Well, first of all, deadly new viruses. What is going on out there?
I think that the idea here is that we're experiencing the impacts of COVID 19 right now. And these are types of viruses that are happening around the world. They've happened historically. If you think about examples of other types of viruses that have transmitted from animals to humans, there are things like HIV, SARS, MERS, swine flu. All of these things were originally within an animal reservoir and then crossed the species barrier and transmitted over to humans. And each of these diseases had varying levels of fatality and impact. But the one that we're living through right now has had the most globalized impact.
What can we do to protect ourselves? What are we doing scientifically with the World Health Organization and other countries?
So, I guess in terms of proactive protection or mitigation, there are researchers who are working on the front lines, and we call them virus hunters. They are doing research to actually chronicle and characterize all of the different types of wildlife viruses, pathogens, and bacteria that exist within wildlife populations. They can then characterize these into ones that might be able to or might not be able to cross the species barrier and kind of disproportionately burden humans in terms of a disease impact. And so the type of work that they're doing is really trying to highlight our ability to protect ourselves if we use science as a tool to prepare vaccines ahead of time. But there are also other things that we can do in terms of minimizing or kind of reducing the risks of the disease exposure events in the first place. And so things like deforestation, mining, agricultural expansion, these are all things that are unfolding around the world, changing the surface of the earth and causing humans to become in closer and closer contact with animals. These then lead to disease exposure events. And so it really requires kind of a multi-pronged approach of reducing the kind of root causes and risk factors, working on actually characterizing the diseases and viruses, and then also really preparing for a response. And I think one of the things that COVID really showed us is how ill prepared we were as a society to respond to this type of pandemic.
I think it also showed us that we really need to listen to the scientists. Don't you agree?
Absolutely. I think that this kind of lack of faith in science is something that is certainly paralyzing our own country, and something that we really need to take seriously. We do not need to experience something firsthand to believe in it. And with more than 250,000 people dead in our country right now, this is a disease that has paralyzed our country. And we really need to believe in the scientists who are doing the work to protect us.
I agree with you, Dr. Christopher Golden. Thank you so much for joining us on Morning Blend. I guess I'm going to keep wearing my face mask for quite some time, huh?
That sounds like a very good plan.
Thanks again for joining us on Morning Blend.
Thank you.